Agreed. I too believe the fabricators are quite cool. The speed with which they're able to reprint my shell is most impressive.
Indeed. I believe you'll find their efficiency impressive as well. A single high-density storage tank is good for hundreds of prints.
Now, if we could just find a way for them to print organic matter, they go from cool to perfect.
For coffee?
Of course, for coffee.
Coffee. All right, my friends. Hey, everybody. Welcome to My Name is Spike. My name is Spike, and we are playing Lone Echo 2. We're trying to complete up the storyline. I'm probably going to start trying to skip ahead. The game, unfortunately, it's beautiful. Amazing work with the technology, the effects and everything. I mean, there's Olivia over there doing her business, and all her emotions are really cool. But it's buggy, and it's kind of killing my enjoyment of the game because of that. So I brought this over from the last mission over there, and I'm pretty sure the next mission is going to be to go that way. You guys can see that over there. I'm just going to try to push things forward a bit. I'm not going to explore too many different areas. I'm just going to try to push the mission, the main storyline, so we can make some progress on it. Because I have absolutely no idea how much story is left. If you don't know what's going on, I'm really sorry to say it's going to be hard to explain it all. It's time travel and a bunch of other stuff. So look at me, man. I am not looking well. All right.
These units were used to refuel ships.
Yeah, input only now, though. We got them hooked up to take in the contents of the gear you're collecting. Once we have both the fuel cell and the biomass container hooked up, we'll use these to route what we need to where we need it.
We are becoming quite skilled in bringing order to chaos.
Seems like we were built for this kind of work.
Indeed. Fuel cells secured.
Copy that. I guess we'll be heading to the research facility then.
Yeah, I guess so.
That is where we'll be able to acquire a contained biomass sample, correct?
Indeed. I'll provide further details once you're on site.
Copy that. How will this fuel cell interface with the rest of the technology here?
We've made some modifications on the receiving end, but ultimately what matters is that it can produce a strong enough burst of power to jumpstart the FTL reaction.
A duty it should fulfill admirably. At least for a single jump.
I'm going to do a quick restore of my energy here. Oh, this is a recharge. Oh, I was looking for a... Oh, there it is. I wonder if that's what I need. One of these docks is designed to charge my cells. I want to go into the next mission. Half energy. Hopefully the sound's a little better, guys. Every time Quest does an update, it changes the sound dynamics. So my mic is louder, my mic is lower, the game is louder, the game is lower. And it just happened with Resident Evil 4 VR as well. I think to go that way, I'm going to hitch a ride. Because I noticed that one of those drones is making kind of a circuit. So I think I need to grab a hold of it. I'm just waiting for it to come back. Because it comes over here and it stops for like a second. Let me just see. Okay. Looks like we're doing it the old-fashioned way. See, my concern here is I don't know if I'm going to be exposed to the radiation or not. Beautiful game. I mean, again, all the graphics, the technology, the way everything was designed, it's just beautifully done. You know, you're floating in space with a giant asteroid next to you. You really get the sense of the immenseness of it, and I think it's really well done. The story's really interesting too. There's a lot of interesting elements to it. I'm very impressed. Time travel and I don't know, it's a bunch of stuff. It's already starting to glitch a little bit. So what I might have to do is exit the game, come back in the game, kind of do that a few times when it starts getting really glitchy. There isn't anything in the game I can adjust. I've adjusted the graphics and shading and like all kinds of stuff to try to get it to cooperate, and it just ain't doing it. It's something with the game. Is this my ride? Did I just not wait long enough? You know what? I think I should have just waited for him. I could have just hung on. Yeah, he's going. Shit. All right, whatever. Oh, look at this.
Careful, Jack. There's another form of the biomass nearby. You may have seen them before. Elongated structures with an affinity for spore dispersion.
Indeed, cysts. Their rapid regrowth, even after bursting, makes them particularly dangerous. This specimen appears somewhat different than the others I've previously encountered. It has tentacles.
Yes, I believe that particular adaptation manifested somewhat recently. The biomass has been evolving continuously since your time. Regardless, you'll want to keep your distance, if possible.
If possible? What does that mean? Well... Oh, you want to fight? You want to fight? Come on. You want to fight? Oh, what's this? What's this cartilage? Alright, so looks like we got some dialogue.
I've located a stalled tram car. There are casualties inside. Both victims of severe biomass infestation.
Any idea who they are, do you know?
I'm afraid I'm unable to discern their identities from here. And unfortunately, the station's transit logs are corrupted. I can't access passenger manifests. The only way to identify the victims would be by scanning their personal data ports. Unfortunately, our access is blocked by the biomass. As we currently do not possess any means of bypassing the infestation, I suggest we move on.
Is this? We know where this can is. So hold on a second.
This appears to be another form of the biomass. It detects my presence, much like the other specimens encountered thus far.
We classify it as a reticulated bee biomass organism, but most people just call them webs.
Aside from their namesake membrane, webs can also be recognized by an additional nodule. It should be quite distinct. Oh, and Jack, that distinct nodule I mentioned, think of it as a sensor. If it detects you, it will stimulate the web's expansion reflex. Just something to keep in mind as you explore the station.
Okay, noted. Well, looks like you don't have a way to really do anything there, so we'll just move on. Although we've got a mission.
You're approaching the biomass research facility. This is where the outbreak originated.
We're sure there's some contained biomass on hand for Jack to retrieve.
Logs indicate 1 or 2 containers should still be in storage. However, reaching them may be difficult due to the entire facility being under lockdown.
The tram entrance will undoubtedly be your only way in.
Acknowledged.
Charging dock restored. Jack, now that we've completed optimizing your shield's radiation resistance, I'm afraid there's nothing more to be gained from the dock's data.
What's the point of an advanced network of semi-autonomous recharge stations if you can't count on them to calculate impressive optimizations for you?
I believe you are correct, Captain. The distributed computing power of the charging docks could be put to greater use.
Yes. That's precisely what I meant. Go on.
I have tasked the charging docks with developing a means for allowing Jack's shield to self-regenerate. The wealth of empirical data they have collected on recharging should prove invaluable to the process.
Then I presume additional data scans would be of value after all.
Indeed. Please continue scanning any docks you may find. The additional computing power of more active units would be advantageous as well.
Copy that.
Alright, so we're here. See a big door. Clunk.
The facility appears to be in fairly poor condition, but there is at least some power flowing.
Due to the generator being restored.
Unfortunately, I'm still unable to access any systems further into the facility. Power flow stops at the entry terminal. It appears that the systems are outright disconnected, including the physical entry bridge. Jack, you'll need to reconnect those systems to gain entry to the facility.
Copy that.
I love the tech.
There's a room jutting into this cave. Could it be part of the biomass containment area?
Negative. The room you're seeing is part of the facility's integrity monitoring system, responsible for tracking any changes in the asteroid structure during excavation. For safety reasons, biomass containment is located much deeper in the facility.
Oh, look at this place. This looks like a mess. Oy.
This bridge is currently disconnected, as part of the lockdown procedures.
Correct. The doors won't open until both sides of the bridge are fully extended.
Did they get everyone out?
According to these logs...
No. Not everyone got out.
Alright. Look again at my mission here. I'm not 100% sure what I'm supposed to be doing. Reconnect the entry bridge to gain access to the facility and to the main facility. Okay. They just gave me so many side quests here.
This appears to be some sort of focusing device. I haven't seen anything like it elsewhere on Chiron Station.
It's actually a prototype of the technology our containment units use to keep Dix pacified.
As in the technology that shorted out while Jack and I were trapped in the engineering bay?
Yes, though that was due to the power cycling abnormally. I assure you, it's usually quite stable.
Yeah, one would hope.
Alright guys, we're looking around. I had to exit.
This device looks vaguely similar to the cranes we saw in the transit hub.
Good eye, Jack. That's because it's an early version of the stasis field technology used by those cranes, as well as our cargo drones and many other systems. As you can imagine, the ability to manipulate objects without direct contact has significant advantages when dealing with the biomass.
Yes. Advantages we continue to witness firsthand through Jack's grid projector.
Agreed.
Oh, so I can't actually... Oh, I thought I was going to be able to...
A scale model of the FTL drive on Dr. Harlan's ship. Was the drive developed here?
Not exactly. While the few FTL drives still in service were refitted here, the original design was actually reverse engineered from the FTL drives left behind aboard the Estrella. That was done by your former employer, in fact.
Wait, Atlas built them?
Indeed. Before the company dissolved, of course.
Effectively, 22nd century Atlas reverse engineered their own 26th century technology.
Ah, that sounds perfectly normal and not at all confusing.
I would expect nothing less from our employer, past, present, or otherwise.
So
It seems someone was emphatic about maintaining the lockdown. I'm guessing the console would have controlled the bridge.
Affirmative. I'm not seeing any backup controls in the blueprints, unfortunately. It's possible the cave contains systems not listed in the schematics. It may be worth a quick investigation.
So one of the biggest complaints I have with the game, besides the optimization, which continues to freak out, and I have to exit the game. So the problem with exiting the game coming back is that it's it takes a long time to get back in the game. So you sit there at this loading screen that just takes forever to load. So it's again, the enjoyment of the game is still there in the sense of trying to learn what the game can, the game story and everything. I really want to know the story, but I tell you, it's really hard to play when you have to stop constantly. Ooh, I love that. I love that. All right, so what do we got here? Oh, I just heard squishy sounds. Oh God, I'm hearing biomass blobby sounds. So yeah, that's the concerns I have.
Re-establishing main generator connection. Be advised, Class 3 power fields will become active. Dormancy will be nullified.
Jack, power will soon be returning to the immediate area, as well as the rest of the research facility. Just keep in mind that you'll also be awakening any dormant biomass within.
That's a good point. By restoring power, we're undoing something that was put in place as a die-hard safety precaution.
We're certain this is the only place we're going to find the contained biomass?
Assuming these fragmented station logs are correct? Yes.
Well, that's reassuring.
Finalizing connection.
Connection established. Now receiving power readings throughout the facility. Jack, once you have the bridge fully extended, you should be able to access the facility proper. Though I suspect some areas may have additional security requirements.
Nora, the research director, would have done everything she could to contain the outbreak. But there is no containing it. This was an eventuality.
It's fortunate that your disagreement over priorities led you to be elsewhere when the outbreak occurred.
It's only fortunate if I'm right.
God, the guy's whispering voice.
Dr. Harlan, if these power readings are accurate, our suspicions appear confirmed.
What's that now? What suspicions?
Educated guess, rather.
Which is different.
We were concerned that residual power currents may have allowed the biomass to continue spreading for some time after the lockdown.
Okay. And?
Webs have likely taken hold. Caution is advised, Jack.
Acknowledged.
Acknowledged. I'm so cool. Acknowledged.
Biomass has taken hold here.
Given that it got this far, the rest of the facility will likely be much worse.
Will the fabricator still be operational?
Yes, at least enough that Jack should be able to reboot without issue.
Let's see, disable this casualty here.
In the security control room, I found a casualty.
According to logs, Adler Reyes.
He must have been trying to keep the scanners running to prevent the biomass from leaving the facility.
But if someone failed the scan...
They would have had to remain behind. Unfortunately, even the scanning room itself became contaminated.
You think that's how it spread to the rest of the station?
Most likely. With background contamination, the system would have had a difficult time producing accurate results. Inevitably, it failed.
So yeah, the guy's voice drives me absolutely fucking bonkers. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Everything he says. I don't understand that. I don't understand why is he whispering everything. Like it's like he's in a quiet room trying not to wake up a baby. So he's got the mic right next to his mouth and he's just talking so quietly in the mic. I just hate that. And he talks slow. Like everybody's a
Jack, you are now entering the facility's lobby. Biomass containment is located through the leftmost door.
Oh, I'm gonna look over here first. In the medical wing. I'm just gonna check because sometimes when you want to go forward. Oh, this is gonna be a web, isn't it? button. Wrong button. That was almost my death. My death was imminent. Oh, look at this.
We have another casualty in the lobby.
Dr. Brianna Lemmington.
She was one of our pathologists.
Okay, let's report to
This area appears to be locked down.
That's the test wing. We should focus on reaching the containment area.
Electrical systems here are clearly suffering from extreme damage. The lobby's directory is effectively useless.
Good thing you've got someone who knows their way around.
Always happy to be of assistance, Captain.
I was actually talking about Dr. Harlan. But thanks.
Another one of the web forms. I still have no way to bypass.
Then try the labs. The research they were doing there might prove useful.
Copy that. I'll see what I can find.
Yeah, so I'm back to stuttering again. But I can't go to the medical wing because this dude's over here. So I can't go that way. Where am I supposed to go?
There's some kind of added security here.
Dr. Everett Harlan reporting. Authorized laboratory access.
Voice-activated authorization. That's a smart security feature.
Thank you. And you're welcome.
There's a switch embedded in the wall here.
An emergency disconnect. Likely utilized as a means to curtail the outbreak.
They really did all they could to try and get the infestation under control.
They knew once it was out, they couldn't stop it. All they could do was buy time for everyone else on the station.
Run away from that quick. This is my lab. This is my lab. Of course, the game is starting to glitch on me. Alright, let's see
What sort of research were they doing here?
The director was convinced the cure was impractical. So she poured everything into containment technology.
Did she have any luck?
When I left, she had everyone working on miniaturizing the insulation cloaking from our containment unit. I'm not sure how far they got.
Is this a control interface?
That's right, for the robotic arm in the adjoining chamber. Use the holographic controls to adjust each part of the articulation.
Is this some type of emitter?
It looks to be a functional prototype. I knew they were close, but I didn't know they had moved into practical testing. The basic concept was to surround the biomass with a cloak of electromagnetic insulation, preventing energy from reaching it.
Kind of like using a blanket to smother a flame.
Indeed. The idea was to build these cloak emitters as a reactive defense against the biomass, to contain it.
That could have a wide array of tactical applications again.
It's a stall at best, not a solution. I wish you could have seen that.
Such versatile technology.
And it still wasn't enough.
I wonder if they moved this prototype into production.
Even if they did, it clearly wasn't enough to stop an outbreak. This is why we need a cure.
The glass is broken. I'm afraid your former workplace has seen better days, Doctor.
External spread was what breached the chamber.
It appears the entire facility became one contiguous test chamber.
And that too was breached.
That's supposed to go. Okay, so this is open. I think I figured it out. I think the glass is broken, and that sprays there, and then we have limited time to escape through the web. So I do this, it makes the web go away. Oh, I get it. I'm only a dum-dum for so long. Let's test it.
Biomass at the exit neutralized.
It's possible I failed to foresee some of the cloak emitter's eventual implications.
Sounds like your research director was on the right track.
Nora. She never gave up.
Shut
I
up.
could hardly ever pull her away from her work.
Dr. Harlan, if I may interject, the local data I'm seeing implies that the director's efforts to develop cloak emitters proceeded beyond prototyping. Portable versions were installed in some of the X3 medtech shells. Several of these shells appear to have been left behind in the medical wing.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
I believe it may be possible to fit Jack with a similar device, a portable cloak emitter.
What is involved?
I'll need you to retrieve the data from one of the medtech shells here. With that, I should be able to reconstruct the portable cloak emitter's design.
Copy that. I'll see what I can find.
Oh, so I can escape out. Ah, nice. Okay. Well, we made it to that puzzle. Again, the dialogue.
There's a room jutting into this cave. Could it be part of the biomass containment area?
No, I talked to
Negative. The room you're seeing is part of the facility's integrity monitoring system, responsible for tracking any changes in the asteroid structure during excavation. For safety reasons, biomass containment is located much deeper in the facility. Jack, this is the primary examination room, where prototype cures were administered to volunteers. Dr. Harlan, you'll be pleased to know that your old workplace remains unaffected by the outbreak. Dr. Harlan?
That's good to hear, Juno. Thanks.
These medical beds were used for diagnostic scans?
And to monitor potential treatments, many of my peers focused on post-diagnosis options.
What sort of options?
Pain management, transmission reduction, though most patients with terminal diagnosis volunteered for cure research.
Wait. There are diagnoses that aren't terminal.
If the infection is limited to the extremities and has not yet penetrated the epidermis, amputation has thereafter 40% success rate.
In emergencies, the integrated cutter, equipped by several models of the X-3 shell, including Jack's, can...
No. That's enough. Forget I asked.
This log indicates a multitude of visitors. Some were children.
Yes. Many of the station's personnel had families. Most of their children were suitably behaved. Some were not. Still, I hope they reached safety.
So one thing, if you're just joining me for this game for some reason, this session of it, I don't talk a lot as I do in other games where I kind of tattle on like an idiot. Only because the game dialogue is constant.
I'm entering the medical lab.
Doctor, perhaps you should step away for a moment. I'm sure there's still plenty of output data to parse before we're ready to initiate the experiment.
She's here, isn't she? Juno.
More than likely, yes.
Who? The research director?
I can handle it, Juno.
Are you certain?
I'm not looking away.
Well, apparently his wife is here. That's what I'm going to assume.
A researcher and one of our anesthesiologists. It's an impossible task. Alleviating the pain of an infection, especially in later stages.
Yeah. I can imagine.
I've recovered her research. It also seems she received a message from Dr. McKenna with all of his access codes attached. Would you like me to play it?
Affirmative.
Beginning playback.
Hey, Adriana. Well, I know I can count on you to look out for everyone. So I'm sending my access codes. They should get you into my stuff out of your engineering areas. Spare rations, my playing cards, whatever else. If any of it helps even a little bit, please, take it. Share it. I figure it might make things a little more comfortable for you all.
Tram, prepare for departure.
Shit, I gotta go. I have no idea how to end this. Good luck. No. Goodbye.
End of message. If any of Dr. McKenna's codes prove useful, I'll add them to your ARM computer.
Thank you. A keypad for the duct. Juno, could one of Dr. McKenna's codes work here?
I believe so, yes. Try 2525.
Access to the utility ducts granted.
Scan complete. We still need more data. Interesting. Doctor, this shell has a log conversation regarding the director and your research.
Go ahead, Juno.
Beginning playback.
Alright, Unit 5, back to the lab. The director wants to run those simulations again.
Really? For what purpose?
I'm not sure. Dr. Harlan's ideas were intriguing, to say the least. Well, I suppose the director knows best. Go ahead and prep the simulations. I'll join you shortly.
Acknowledge, Dr. McKenna.
Huh. So the director eventually explored your theories after all?
I didn't expect she would continue it after I left. But without the biomasses-based genetic material, it would have been as much of a dead end as containment. I just couldn't convince her.
So much biomass. Don't hit it. Tennis ball. I thought it was like a drone or something.
Patient chart reveals catastrophic cellular breakdown.
Most likely an internal infection that passed through the tissue.
Does that happen in every case?
Eventually, but the host is usually deceased by then.
Oh, that's a relief.
My reconstruction of the personal cloak emitter is nearly complete. One more scan should be sufficient.
No choice.
I found another casualty.
Dr. Jordan Becci. She specialized in pain management therapy for the infected.
This whole mission here is to not just get a biosample, but to give me a little arm device.
Data collection complete. Finalizing tool reconstruction. Reconstruction complete. Please visit a fabricator to install your new cloak emitter.
Let's go get an old show anyways. I think we should get back.
Cloak emitter installation successful. This portable version is practically identical to the mounted prototypes you've been using thus far.
So this whole thing.
Excellent. A tool like this will make it much easier to get around.
Just keep in mind that its effective range had to be reduced to achieve portability. If you move too far away from your target, the tool will deactivate.
Ah. Noted. I'm back in the lobby, proceeding to biomass containment. There's another voice-activated control panel here.
Additional security for the biomass containment area. It requires the voice authorization of a high-ranking official.
Well, we've got Dr. Harlan, right? Let's get that door open.
My authorization won't be enough.
What?
We'll need someone with higher clearance. After a lockdown, she'd be the only one able to enter containment.
With a large enough sample of the director's vocal modulations, I should be able to synthesize her voice.
A voice sample? I don't know, even if we could find one, I'm not sure it's fair to...
Pull up my personal archive, Juno. There's just one file there.
You're sure, Dr. Harlan?
Go on.
Beginning playback.
I'm not going to be able to change your mind, am I?
You know I wouldn't leave unless I had...
It's okay. A kill would change everything. You're not wrong about that. I just wish...
I know, Nora. Me too.
That is sad. Holy cow.
I won't be long.
Oh,
Doctor, I'm sorry, but it's not enough. We'll need more data before I can accurately synthesize the director's voice.
Echo 1, you need to return to the medical lab. Find Nora. If our data port is still intact, it may be our best chance of finding more voice data.
Of course. I'll head back to the med lab.
I kind of feel bad now that I've been dragging on my guy so hard. But it is.
Nora, it's Dr. Barry, the research director.
Confirmed. This data has what we need. A message from the research director. It's addressed to you, Dr. Harlan.
Go ahead. Juno, get your sample.
Dr. Harlan.
We need her authorization. Just play it.
Beginning playback.
I don't know if you'll ever find this, but I wanted to get it out before things get any worse. If you do manage to find this, whatever has happened, I suppose the good news is you probably want to get back to work. Which, if I'm not mistaken, means you owe me dinner.
I'm just being destroyed here.
Margaret, listen to me. I love you. I know you're going to try to put all this on yourself somehow. Make yourself believe there was something you'd have done had you been here. But it's not true. You understand? Don't go trying to carry that. We all knew developing a cure was virtually impossible. No one here was waiting to be saved. You're leaving. You're already doing everything you could do to try and stop this. I miss you, Everett. Be safe. I love you. Goodbye.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, Harlan.
It is difficult to comprehend exactly what you're experiencing, Doctor, but please accept my condolences as well.
She was a good person. She deserved a better resting place than this.
I believe I have enough data to synthesize the director's voice now.
Understood. I'll return to the security panel in the lobby.
All right, let's move. Here.
I'm back at the security panel. Are we sure this will work?
No, but we can try. With Dr. Harlan's permission, of course.
Do it.
This is Dr. Nora Brake. Authorized containment access.
Juno?
Yes, Doctor?
Never do that again.
I'm entering what appears to be an excavation site.
You are correct. It's the only remaining route to the biomass containment area. We should be able to find our sample there.
Acknowledged.
Is this containment area where the outbreak started?
Most likely. I'll continue parsing logs to see if I can determine what happened.
I'm sure that's not necessary.
Do it. I need to know.
Of course, Doctor.
There is an electrical transformer here. Its power field appears to be keeping all nearby biomass active.
Any chance there's a bypass hooked up to it?
Effectively? No. That subsystem has been consumed by the biomass.
Lovely.
I cloaked one of the sensors on this web, but it's not having the same effect as before.
One of? How many sensors does this web have?
At least 4.
Then this web must have been cultivating here for some time. It's possible this is where the outbreak originated.
Unfortunately, Jack, your cloak emitter cannot sustain enough insulation fields to blind all of those sensors.
There must be something else we can do.
Agreed. I'll find a way to retract the web.
Wait a second. If a cloak emitter can blind the biomass by stopping power fields from getting in, could it also be used to stop the transformer's power field from getting out?
I'll inspect the reconstructed targeting software.
If you can't cloak the sensors, cloak the power source.
Nicely done, Jack.
That was unexpected. I'll need just a moment to further analyze the reconstructed targeting software. Ah, I see it now. The cloak emitter should be able to target power sources as well, as long as they're sufficiently compact.
Copy that. Proceeding through the web now. Is this the cargo bay?
Yes, and our containment unit is indeed intact.
I'm still prepping the intake system. Should be ready by the time the container gets here, though. I'm assuming we have what we need.
Readings show a full complement of ticks within. So, yes, Captain, we have what we need.
Is the unit safe to approach?
Yes, the container is fully powered and the insulation fields are active. Those ticks are pacified. I'll send a cargo drone to retrieve it as soon as the bay door is opened.
On it.
Jack, the cargo drone will be unable to retrieve the container until it's released from the loading pallet. There should be a release mechanism near the container.
A way to release the container?
That is correct. That access panel may be used to free the container from the pallet below.
Container released.
Confirmed. Container primed for departure.
It will need to be hooked up once it gets here, Jack. If you had to give it the final touch.
I believe I would, yes. I doubt the procedure will take long.
Okay then. See you in a few.
Container departing in T-minus 10 seconds.
Let's go.
Jack, if you're planning on accompanying the container, now would be a good time to take hold. Cargo drone is departing in 3, 2, 1. Igniting thrusters. Jack, I hope you don't mind. I've switched us to another comms channel for a moment. I have a somewhat personal question to ask you. Do you mind?
Go ahead, Juno.
Captain Rhodes, she considers you a friend, yes?
Yes, that is correct.
How do you know?
Because she has said so.
Ah, that certainly simplifies things. In your case,
How do you mean?
I'm trying to discern if Dr. Harlan considers me a friend. Biometrics indicate he is still experiencing some distress, but I'm unsure if it would be appropriate for me to console him. What is your assessment?
Based on my observations, I believe Dr. Harlan considers you a friend. He will appreciate your efforts, even if he does not outwardly display it.
Thank you, Jack. I agree with your assessment. I will do what I can to help the doctor feel better. Wait, did we just become friends?
I suppose we did.
Splendid. I'll return comms to the public channel now.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?
Biomass container in place and ready to be secured.
Go ahead, Jack.
I guess this will probably take us to the next part of the missions here. Wow, pressing all the wrong buttons.
Biomass containers secured in place.
Copy that. System check, Juno. How did we do?
Systems nominal. Both the fuel cell and biomass container are secure and fully engaged with the ship's intake systems.
Well, Jack, looks like things are wrapped up here. No need for you to rush back, though. I'm not exactly eager to send you hurtling through time again.
Of course.
Also, Dr. Harlan could always use more data for his research, if you'd like to continue exploring the station.
Copy that, Juno.